Welcome everybody to Nashville Superspeedway here on iRacing. My name is Josh Hall. This is the Original Rebels Racing League Grand National Series live from the Music City. We're looking for an exciting race here tonight. Currently at the top of the speed charts is the 31 of Jonah Colbert. And tonight's theme, we've got your favorite bands and musical performers. So we'll be watching that all night long to see who's got the best paint jobs supporting their favorite music stars. See if we can see any of these out on track currently. We see Jonah Colbert's got something on his car. Let's see if we can take a look at this. See him going sliding through the grass, and TNN, a little country music throw there. We can swing the camera around and take a look at what else we have out there. If anybody else has any paint jobs out there, doesn't look like I see too many at the moment. So we'll see if anybody else comes in with any awesome looking paint jobs for, as we see Brandon Wallace make his way down the pit road. Awesome looking paint jobs representing their favorite musical artists and bands. Let's take a look at your points coming in tonight. We got Eddie Smith at the top of the board with 3 wins, and Charles Stevens sitting back in second. Andy Kurtz in third. He's got a win. Brandon Wallace and Matt Kleeman, your top 5. Jason Lotridge sits back in 6th. Steve McDonald in the 7th position. Mike Kosick back in 8th. Daniel Cunningham and Jason Warren round out your top 10. Then Jonah Colbert, Brendan Pollock, Jonathan Cofield, Matt Knights, and Josh Lukovitz are your top 15 currently in points. As we're getting qualifying underway, we want to thank everybody who's joining us here tonight live. Whether you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube, we do appreciate you joining us here tonight. There's a lot of other places you could be, and we appreciate you spending your Friday night with us. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. It really does help us out to do all those things. Plus, we can't forget about all the great people who make this league possible. Kinder Farm and Ranch, Cofield, Asphalt Refinishing, Dark Horse Motorsports, Chuck Pegleg Felts, JC Race Graphics, Rebels Racing Network, all in Intensity, obviously, for the championship swag. So the winner of each championship will get a free piece of swag courtesy of Intensity Broadcasting. We see Daniel Cunningham out on track right now, getting his qualifying attempt underway. Nashville Superspeedway is a bit of a tricky track. It's 1.33 miles in length, banking at 14 degrees, so it's actually kind of flat. It looks like it's kind of high banked, but when you're in the car, it definitely feels very flat as Andy Kurtz goes top of the board currently. And as I say that, Jonathan Cofield jumps up to the top of the board. He makes his way off of turn number 2. And it's not your typical super speedway. It's not like Daytona or Talladega. It's going to be more of, it almost has a short track feel to it as well. So we'll be watching that all night long. As Cofield currently at the top of the board, we see Brandon Wallace out on track, just coming off of turn number 2. And down across the stripe. And Brandon Wallace is going to jump up into the 11th position. Chuck Pegleg Felts out on track in that 75 machine. Rocking down the backstretch on his first of 2 laps. Down through turns 3 and 4. We'll see off of turn number 4 onto the straightaway be one of the troublesome spots tonight. It's really easy to get yourself out of shape right there. And we'll be watching for that all night long tonight. Just realized my voice is pretty loud on the stream. I do apologize for that. Although normally people tell me they can't hear me on the stream, so let me know everything sounds good on your end. As Chuck Phelps makes his way off of turn number 4, checkered flag is in hand for his qualifying attempt. Pegley's going to use that little bit of apron, move himself up into 15th. Josh Oswald just coming off of turn number 4 to take the green flag. Tyler Tomasi in the chat says he needs to start racing broadcasted races again. We've got them all here. We've got Monday nights starting up with the SCSRA pretty soon. They're going to be running their road series. Tuesday nights, we've got SCSRA, which is starting up with their truck series this week, and their Xfinity series on Wednesday. We've got this Grand National series on Friday, and double truck series on Sunday. So a wide variety of racing here on Intensity Broadcasting as Josh Oswald goes 18th quickest on his first lap. We'll see what he does here on his second lap. Oh, a little loose off of turn 4. That's that trouble spot I said we'd be watching for all night long. And down across the stripe. And Brandon Wallace is going to jump. I'm sorry, Josh Oswald is going to jump up into the 17th position. Aaron Adcock just finished up his qualifying attempt. And he is currently P9. And that is going to do it here for qualifying. We're going to take a look at our starting grid. Of course, your starting grid is your Peg Leg Pole Award tonight is going to go to the 1 of Jonathan Cofield. Sorry, the 58 of Jonathan Cofield. Looking at it weird in my screen. With Jonah Colbert to his outside in the 31. Row 2 will find the 5 of Andy Kurtz, along with the 54 of Daniel Cunningham. Let's see if we can take a look at some of these paint jobs as we go through the field here. So there you have it, the Evanescence Machine. Jonathan Cofield on pole. Jonah Colbert back in second in the Country Music Machine. Andy Kurtz in third with the 5 Lowe's Machine. And outside of him is another CMT machine, the 54 of Daniel Cunningham. Eddie Smith in the A7 will be rolling off 5th with Mike Kosick to his outside in 6th. Garrett Kinder in the Turnpike Turnarounds, or Turnpike Troubadours, hope I said that right, in the 13, rolling off 7th, and Chris McLean in the 8th position. Aaron Adcock will be rolling off from 9th with Charles Stevens Jr. in the 88 in the 10th position. 11th will be Ray Page in the 41 with Jason Lottridge outside of him in position number 12. Steve McDonald rolling off from the 13th position with Tyler Rice back in 14th. 15th, the 99 of Brandon Wallace, and the 19 of Matt Kleeman make up row number 8. Josh Oswald back in 17th with Pegleg Feltz in the 18th position. William Griffith rolled off 19th, and Brandon Pollock in the Gravedigger Machine in 20th. Mickey Isaac rolling off 21st. Greg Barnett in 22nd. Matt Knights in 23rd. And Mike Bertosa Jr. rounding out the rest of the field here at Nashville Superspeedway as the cars make their way down the backstretch. The pace car getting ready to pull onto that pit road. Yeah, Tyler, we miss having you out on track. I know you've been racing real life up here in the Northeast. But pace car is off now. We're getting ready to go green flag racing. As Jonathan Cofield leads them down to the starting zone. Green flag is in the air. And we are racing here at Nashville Superspeedway in a side-by-side start as they go down into turn number 1. Neither Colbert or Cofield given an inch as they come off of turn number 2 and rocket down the backstretch. See the 54 of Daniel Cunningham coming up on that high side, trying to get around Andy Kurtz. And as we come off of turn number 4 for the first time, Jonah Colbert's going to take the lead. And we got one car down through the grass. That is the 01 of Mickey Isaac going through John Deere country. He's able to get it cleaned up and back underway. As Daniel Cunningham's trying to work around the outside of Andy Kurtz. The field makes their way through turns 1 and 2. Daniel Cunningham still tight on the outside of the 5 of Andy Kurtz. Cunningham's going to clear Kurtz now as they go down into turn at number 3. And now Kosik's going to work to that high side of the 5. Way up the track, Eddie Smith trying to find all the grip he can out there. And now Garrett Kinder back in the 7th position. In that 13 machine working down to the inside of the 05 of Chris McLean. He's going to clear the 05 and start working on the 87 of Eddie Smith. So far a pretty mild start as we see one car way down. That's Eddie Smith way down on the low side. Looks like he might have got a little loose off the corner there and loses a couple spots, both Garrett Kinder and Aaron Adcock. As Chris McLean now has Garrett Kinder all over the back bumper. Kinder looking down to the inside. And they continue to battle side by side as Jonah Colbert starting to pull away from Jonathan Cofield just a little bit. He's got a almost 0.3 of a second lead over second place. As Kinder continues to battle off the back bumper of Chris McLean. McLean just able to get into the corner so much deeper than Kinder can, but Kinder getting a bit of a run down the backstretch towards that 05 machine. And just in front, we see Michael Kosik taking a look down underneath the 5 of Andy Kurtz. As they continue to run side by side, that's going to allow Chris McLean to reel them in as Kosik tucks back in behind the 5 of Andy Kurtz. We've got a gaggle of cars back here all trying to work on position. Steve McDonald just got passed by the 88 of Charles Stevens Jr. And now Jr.'s working on the back bumper of Ray Page. Mike Kosik now has the 05 of Chris McLean looking down to the inside. Almost some contact between the 8 and the 5. Garrett Kinder's right there to have a front row view of that. Kevin Kinder says go 13. As we see Garrett Kinder now looking up to the outside of Chris McLean, but Kinder's going to have to tuck back in line. Jonathan Cofield has the 54 of Daniel Cunningham, starting to run him down. As Jonah Cobra starting to check out from the field. He's got a half-second lead over Jonathan Cofield at the moment. A little further back, you can see a battle here between Matt Kleeman, Brandon Wallace, Josh Oswald in the mix here as well with Tyler Rice. As Kleeman has a little connection issue there. And now Garrett Kinder looking down to the inside of Chris McLean, trying to take over that 6th position. And we see Garrett Kinder having a little bit of a connection issue there as his car was just blinking out for a second, but him and McLean run tight door to door, side by side down the front stretch. Then to turn number 1. And now Eddie Smith right there on the back bumper of these two as well, trying to follow Kinder through as he gets around McLean, but McLean still fighting hard on that high side. Now Kinder's going to have to tuck back in line, cool off those tires, and try it again as Eddie Smith now looks down to the inside of the 13. It gives a little bit of breathing room to McLean. As now Kinder and Eddie are side by side. Eddie's going to get that position down off of turn number 2, and he's going to make a run at the 5 of Chris McLean. So a great battle here between Eddie Smith, Chris McLean, and Garrett Kinder. And now Andy Kurtz getting involved in this as well, as he's been sliding backwards just a little bit. Now Eddie taking a look down underneath the 5 machine. Those 5 cars come off of turn number 4. But Eddie Smith has the huge run as these 4 run in formation. Aaron Adcock now up in this mix as well. So Kinder's now gotten around everybody, got himself up into the 6th position. McLean and Adcock now going at it side by side. A little further back, Matt Kleeman and the 48 of Jason Lottridge side by side. So back up front, Jenna Colbert continues to pull away from Jonathan Cofield, who runs back in 2nd. About a half-second back. And another half-second back to the 34 of Daniel Cunningham, who now has the 8 of Mike Kosick right there on the back bumper. As we've completed 20 of the 100 laps scheduled distance. And Mike Pertosa Jr. rolling off of pit road. He is 20 laps down. Not really sure what caused him to miss the start, but he's out there now as Kosick working down to the inside of Daniel Cunningham. Cunningham's got to shut the door, though, as they come off of the trioval and into turn number 1. Great battle side by side for the 3rd position. Neither driver really giving an inch here. Getting plenty of room down the straightaways, but as they work their way down into the corner, Cunningham's going to give them the room this time. That's allowing as these two drive side by side. You see Eddie Smith creeping into the picture. And neither driver really able to get any momentum off the corner to try to get by the other driver. But Eddie Smith right there trying to work around these two drivers, see if he's able to maybe get a 2 for 1. As Cunningham bounces off the wall. That allows Eddie Smith right down underneath. And he's going to get around the 54 and set his sights on the 8 of Mike Kosick. And the racing here at Nashville Superspeedway reminds me a lot of New Hampshire. Cars start to spread out. You can really see who's good at saving tires or saving their equipment. You see Matt Kleeman. Ooh. Heard somebody have some issues there, but not really sure who it was. Or see the 90 or the 43 make his way down back onto pit road. Steve McDonald and Charles Stevens Jr. now side by side. This is a battle for 10th. McDonald has it. Stevens Jr. wants it. As they're side by side off of turn 4. Ooh, big slide out of the 68 of McDonald. And we'll be seeing that all night long as Charles Stevens Jr. able to move right around the 68 of Steve McDonald. One driver we know loves when the track is nice and slick is the 13 of Garrett Kinder. And we'll ride along here and see how much he's turning the wheel to the right. Looks like he's on a pretty wheel right now. This battle back here continues between Ray Page, Tyler Rice, Matt Kleeman, Pegleg Feltz, all in this mix as well. Pegleg's going to get around Kleeman. He's going to start looking down to the inside of Ray Page. Just not close enough to make that move happen. A little further up front, we see Mike Kosick as Eddie Smith right there in the tire tracks, slowly creeping up to the back bumper of that 8 machine. And most of these guys right now are starting to think about some pit stops. We know they're not quite light on fuel yet, but tires are going to be a major thing. And don't forget, these drivers don't have resets as well. So true to life, if these guys are in an incident, they're going to have to get that car fixed up to get themselves back on the track. And if it's fixed or unfixable, they'll have to retire for the night. So the only league in the Rebels that runs the no resets and really changes the dynamic of the racing. You see drivers giving each other a little bit more room. See Aaron Adcock taking a look down to the inside of Daniel Cunningham. William Griffith just hit pit road, so he's our first taker on the pit road. As they are side by side, I said people giving each other a little bit more room, and those two are just leaning on each other through turns 3 and 4. Adcock just not quite able to get around the 54 of Cunningham. As Griff has just finished his service, makes his way back out onto the track. Fortunately, pitting here under green, you will lose a lap. You'll see these two drivers as they're side by side through turns 1 and 2 go right on by the 12 of William Griffith. As they make a liar out of me, as Griff is just out in front on those fresh tires, and we see a battle between Mike Kosick and Eddie Smith. Eddie's got the position down the front stretch and into turn number 1, coming up on some lap traffic. It's not lap traffic. That was the 58 of Jonathan Cofield. Way off the pace. It looks like he's struggling quite a bit. Looks like he might have some damage to the right side of that car. That's really hurting the handling of that 58 machine. Trying to see if we can see the... Yeah, we see a little bit of damage to the right front fender of that 58, so that'll definitely be slowing that car down. As I thought we had more takers on the pit road, but just looked like they were running the oh, we had a truck or car around here. No caution. See, we can see what happened to Ray Page here. Oh, that was the 5 of Chris McLean. Oh! Looks like him and Mickey Isaac are running pretty hard, and they both make some contact. Both go sliding through the grass. Look at the save Ray Page makes, just catching the wall a little bit, but keeps it rolling. Man, Mickey Isaac as well. Taking a wild ride through the grass. And Chris McLean. This is off the back bumper of McLean. How'd you like to see that in your mirror? So Jonah Colbert now has himself a almost 2.5 second lead over second place Eddie Smith. Mike Kosick runs back in third, then Jonathan Cofield in the 4th position. Aaron Adcock runs back in 5th. You got to go back almost a second, or half a second, to Daniel Cunningham back in the 6th position. Garrett Kinder running in 7th. And then it's a 6.5 second gap back to 8th place, Greg Barnett. Charles Stevens Jr. is running in 9th, and Tyler Rice back in the 10th position. As Greg Barnett has Charles Stevens Jr., all over the back bumper. And Tyler Rice right there as well, trying to get into the mix here. We see Peg Leg Phelps trying to work the outside of Matt Kleeman, trying to take over that 13th position. Kleeman's going to get right around the 75, and here comes the 4 of Brandon Pollock looking down to the inside of Peg Leg as well. Your biggest mover through the race so far, though, is the 38 of Greg Barnett. Currently runs in the 8th position, up 14 positions from where he started, and consistently and solidly just moving his way through the field. As Eddie Smith now has Mike Kosick rolling right up to that back bumper. Last time by, Kosick was about a 1/10 of a second quicker than Eddie Smith. As Tyler Rice now makes his way down onto pit road. Andy Kurtz also on pit road. Andy Kurtz making his way off of pit road. Which tells me we're just a few laps from green flag pit stops. We're almost to halfway. As Jonah Colbert starts lap 44 of 100. Jonah Colbert coming up on the 17 of Josh Oswald, trying to put the 18th place car a lap down. See Tyler Rice down on the low side, just coming off of pit road on those fresh tires. And this battle's continuing here with Matt Kleeman on the high side. Brandon Pollock moving himself up into the 11th position. Peg Leg is going to follow Pollock right on through. That moves Matt Kleeman back into the 13th position. As Garrett Kinder makes his way down onto pit road. So the first driver in the top 10 making his way down pit road. We'll see if that triggers anybody else to make their way down pit road as well. Matt Kleeman down onto pit road. Jonah Colbert's going to continue to stay out. And Kinder is down and away. But again, going to be a lap down. So you do lose a lap when you pit here at Nashville Superspeedway. Again, not your typical superspeedway. It's not like Daytona or Talladega. There's not as much drafting involved. You don't have to worry about pitting by yourself and losing the pack. But it is a unique track. Offers some great racing. Again, it reminds me a lot of New Hampshire or Phoenix, where the field starts to spread out a little bit. It's got that long, short track feel. Charles Stevens Jr. makes his way down on the pit road. And we see Jonah coming down onto pit road, our leader. Brakes for pit road. So does an Eddie Smith right behind. That's going to give the lead over to the 8 of Mike Kosick. Aaron Adcock runs back now in second with Jonathan Cofield right behind. Greg Barnett also on pit road. Steve McDonald making their way down on the pit road. So green flag stops are now starting. See Kosick right down on that low side, slowing down, make his way down onto pit road. Right behind Aaron Adcock. Almost misses pit road. He comes down as well. So Jonathan Cofield going to take over the lead. So we are now just past halfway. Kosick makes his way down to his box. Pegleg Feltz also on pit road. Jonathan Cofield going to take over the lead. As we see the fresh tires making easy work of those older tires as McLean moves himself right around to get his lap back. As we have 7 cars on the lead lap, 7 cars yet to pit. And a lot of smoke on the front stretch. Looked like Jason Lottridge having some issues here. Let's see if we can go back and see. Yeah, Lottridge down in the grass. See what happened to this 48 machine is, oh, it looks like he got turned coming down this front stretch. Ooh, Charles Stevens Jr. made a little bit of contact as well. Off the racing surface, though, so no caution. Now Jonathan Cofield makes his way down onto pit road, and Daniel Cunningham will take over the lead. Mickey Isaac also making his way down onto pit road. That just leaves 2 cars out on the track who have not pit yet. And that is your leader, the 54 of Daniel Cunningham, and the 64 of Matt Knights, who runs 20 seconds behind your leader. We'll see if Cunningham comes down pit road this time. It looks like he's slowing down to make his way down onto pit road. Matt Knights also hits pit road. And that'll hand the lead back to the 31 of Jonah Colbert. Chris McLean having a great pit stop. Currently in second behind Colbert, 2.5 seconds. And Eddie Smith running back in third, although Eddie is running down the 05 of McLean. And old Kinder finds himself back in the 4th position, and he is just 1.5 seconds behind the 87 of Eddie Smith. Andy Kurtz trying to run down the 23 of Aaron Adcock as McLean gets passed by Eddie Smith, who is on rails. Last time by, he was a whole second faster than McLean. McLean, one of the drivers that came in early, pit on lap 33. So his tires are 17 laps older than your leaders, and it just showed right there. As Matt Knights has some issues. Ooh, some heavy damage to the left side of that machine. We see what happened to the 64. And, looks like he got loose, made some contact with the 38 of Greg Barnett. Again, able to keep it straight and off the track, so no caution. As Garrett Kinder is now trying to work his way around the 5 of McLean. And Kinder is going to move himself up into the 3rd position. And now Mike Kosick taking a look to the inside of McLean. So McLean in a bit of trouble now on those older tires. Been sliding backwards since the leaders came down pit road. Finds himself back in the 5th position. See how far he does slide, as Garrett Kinder has Mike Kosick in the 8 running him down. And Kosick in the 8 looking down to the inside of Garrett Kinder as they enter turn number 3. Kinder, though, pinching him down off the corner. They're going to be side by side down the front stretch. Again, this is a battle for the 3rd position, and right behind we see the 48 of Jason Lotridge, who is a lap down. But he's got a front row view for this action in front of him. Kosick is going to clear the 13 of Garrett Kinder. So we'll see if he has enough speed to run down both Eddie Smith and Jonah Colbert. Ray Page makes his way down onto pit road again for an unscheduled pit stop. Here's a side-by-side battle between Tyler Rice and William Griffith. Is back for the 14th position. Griff on the high side. He's got a hard charging. Well, that's Jonah Colbert putting them a lap down. So Colbert caught up in some lap traffic now. We'll have to see if that slows him enough to allow Eddie Smith to catch up. As we ride along with Eddie. You see that traffic right up in front of him. Well, we've got a little break in the action. How about we do a little segment I like to call Pump Up the Intensity. All the great sights and sounds here at Nashville Superspeedway is Eddie Smith has now run down, or starting to run down, Jonah Kober. He is under 2 seconds behind. He was almost 4 seconds behind about 10 laps ago, and he's put some great laps together to try to run down that 31 machine. It also helps that Jonah has been working with some lap traffic as he has lapped up to the 13th position. During the pump of the intensity, Garrett Kinder lost the position to the 23 of Aaron Adcock. So move Adcock up into the 4th position. And Daniel Cunningham starting to run down the 5 of Andy Kurtz. Now he's going to take that position right away. Just behind Kinder now is the 58 of Jonathan Cofield, and Cofield's starting to come in a hurry. Just had Chris McLean back down pit road, so the 2-stop strategy not working in the favor of the 05 machine. Cofield easily gets around the 13 of Garrett Kinder. Brandon Pollock working around the 88 of Charles Stevens Jr. So move Pollock up into the 10th position. And Jonah Kober continuing to work through lap traffic, just getting around the 75 of Peg Leg Felts. And Eddie Smith now cutting Jonah's lead down to 1.7 seconds. So Eddie Smith able to see that 31 machine out in front as he continues to chase him down. And we are coming to 25 laps to go in just a handful of laps. Last time by, Eddie and Jonah ran identical laps, 31:19s. This time by, Jonah runs a 31:28. Eddie runs a 23. So Eddie just a little bit quicker than that 31 with, like I said, when they cross the line this time, we'll have just 25 laps to go. And currently only 11 cars on the lead lap. It sounded like somebody was just up into the wall, but no caution is out. See Greg Barnett running up on the back bumper of the 5 of Andy Kurtz. Barnett right around the 5 machine of Kurtz. Moved Barnett up into the 8th position, which ties his best position of the night up into the 8th position. And Aaron Adcock has Jonathan Cofield right behind. While that's going on, Andy Kurtz now has Barnett back in sights. Tried to get back around that 38 machine, but Kurtz putting up the fight up on the high side. Now Barnett's going to clear that 5 of Andy Kurtz again. Does Kurtz try another crossover move down into turn number 3? He will not. So I'll keep Greg Barnett up into the 8th position. Aaron Adcock has the 58 of Jonathan Cofield right there on his back bumper. As they were coming up on some lap traffic, as the lap traffic 3 wide in front. William Griffith on the bottom. Sorry, I hit the wrong button there. Mickey Isaac in there as well. Tyler Rice, Matt Kleeman. So a lot of lap traffic right in front of Aaron Adcock. Jonathan Cofield's going to take a look to the high side of the 23. But Aaron Adcock fighting back hard on that inside lane. Now, under 20 laps to go here at Nashville Superspeedway. We've been green from the start. If you're just joining us, Jonah Colbert pretty much leading here from the drop of the green flag. But Eddie Smith is slowly chasing down that 31 machine. As you can see, they're both in the same picture now. And Jonathan Cofield still trying to get around Aaron Adcock with these lap cars right in front. Adcock looking down to the inside of Kleeman. Cofield going to do the same. As they come off of turn number 4, they just have the lap car of Tyler Rice in front. As Charles Stevens Jr. has entered pit road. So while these two are racing, this race between Mickey Isaac and Matt Kleeman is also for position. So a battle of 2 races right here. As Kleeman is fighting hard on the high side from the 01 of Mickey Isaac. Aaron Adcock still has the 58 right there on the back bumper. Josh Oswald making his way down onto pit road. And Jonah's lead over Eddie Smith is now just 1.3 seconds with 15 laps to go. Both drivers running pretty close to identical times. See right there the lap times. Eddie Smith still gaining just a little bit. That last time by 0.06 of a second quicker than Eddie Smith. So just picking away at that lead. But with 14 laps to go, don't know if there's going to be enough time for Eddie Smith to catch up unless something wild like a caution comes out. Kevin Kinder asked what he missed. Not a whole lot. Couple drivers battling for position. That was Aaron Adcock and Jonathan Cofield. They are still going at it. They were battling around some lap traffic. Now they've got the 68 of Steve McDonald out the front windshield. And Jonah's lead has now shrunk to under 1 second for the first time since around lap 10. Eddie Smith putting some laps down right now to catch the 31. We'll quickly bring you through the field. With 12 laps to go, Jonah Colbert leads Eddie Smith back in second. Mike Kosick 4.5 seconds behind Eddie Smith. Then you go another almost 5 seconds back to the 23 of Aaron Adcock, who's got Jonathan Cofield right on the back bumper. Garrett Kinder runs back in the 6th position, 5 seconds behind Cofield. And that's another 1.5 seconds back to the 54 of Daniel Cunningham. Greg Barnett having a great run tonight, up into the 8th position, up 14 spots from where he qualified. Eddie Kurtz running back in the 9th position, and Brandon Pollock back in 10th as Jonah Colbert. Oh, we got a caution out on the track for the 41 of Ray Page. It's going to bring up our first Kinder Farm and Ranch Records Rewind. At the same time, Eddie Smith was passing Jonah Colbert for the lead. And we'll go back and check that out as well. Let's see if we can first see what happened to the 41 of Page. Coming down the front stretch. And oh, that's the leader. That's what happened to Jonah. Contact between him and the 41 of Ray Page. That sends both machines spinning down to the inside. That's why Eddie Smith was able to get around. And then Ray Page just comes back across the track and right in front of Eddie Smith. I think Eddie might have got a little bit of damage there as well, catching the wall. Let's take a look from Eddie's view here to see what happened from his view. We'll go right on board with him. Yeah, I did catch the wall just a little bit. So that's going to bring everybody down on the pit road. Doesn't look like too much damage to the side of that 87 machine. We'll see if it affects him at all. But this is going to change everything as it's going to bunch the pack right back up. They make their way off of pit road. So tough break for Jonah. That's going to be your Cofield asphalt refinishing tough break of the night. As he was battling, trying to put the 41 a lap down. And I just don't think that Ray Page knew that 31 was up there. They make contact. They both go sliding down. Fortunately, Jonah not getting too much damage on his machine. Looks like he'll be able to continue on without much issue. While we're at it, we're going to give the paint of the night out as well. I want to take a closer look at a couple of these paint jobs. Country Music Television, the old CMT logo there. So the Evanescence machine of Cofield. Good looking car as well. Garrett Kinder. Running the Turnpike Troubadours paint job. Sharp looking car as well. Has that old school vibe to it. Thought there was one more car that would help the CMT machine. Daniel Cunningham out here as well. I'm going to have to give it to Jonah. This is the no-neck paint of the night, the 31 of Jonah Colbert. Sharp-looking ride with the flames, the mirrored numbers and everything. So that will be our paint of the night. Well, lights are off on the pace car. Ask and you will receive, says Kinder. Lights are off on the pace car. We're going to go down to the restart zone. Again, the leader has to maintain pace speed up into the Geico restart zone. If he does not, he will be black flagged. He cannot fire off before the Geico restart zone, but he can choose to fire off anywhere in that zone he'd like. If he does not, then the green flag will come out on its own. We'll go back to racing with or without the leader as they come down to that restart zone. That's marked on the infield by Geico right there. Green flag is back in the air. We are back racing. And a great jump for Eddie Smith, trying to get around the 31 of Jonah Colbert. Colbert, though, takes a look back down to the inside. Not quite close enough to make the move as they make their way off of turn number 2. Now Colbert, who's been so much stronger on the fresh tires, looking down to the inside of Eddie Smith. Teammates side by side off of turn number 4. Here comes Mike Kosick up into the mix here as well. Just 4 laps to go. Don't really have to do much with these tires, but make them... Oh, one car ride. It's Garrett Kinder around and into the outside wall. No caution. We stay green, but hard contact for the 13 of Kinder. As Mike Kosick's now gotten around the 31 of Jonah Colbert. And he's trying to run down the 87 of Eddie Smith. Not too far behind Aaron Adcock. Side by side with the 58 of Jonathan Cofield. As they continue to run side by side, Cofield starting to pinch down that 23 machine. Daniel Cunningham. I'm sorry, that was Daniel Cunningham pinching down the 23 of Aaron Adcock. Andy Kurtz trying to make his way up into the mix as well. Just 2 laps to go. Eddie Smith out in front of Jonathan Kosick. Sorry, Mike Kosick. Jonah Colbert runs in 3rd. Jonathan Cofield in 4th. Aaron Adcock back in 5th. Eddie Smith makes his way off of turn number 4. The white flag is in the air. Does Kosick have anything for him on this final lap? Down into turn number 1. Eddie just trying to put together one perfect lap. Cofield is Aaron Adcock trying to run him back down, but a half a second lead is what separates Eddie Smith and Mike Kosick as they make their way off of turn number 4. And back-to-back weeks, Eddie Smith will be your winner here at Nashville Superspeedway. Mike Kosick is going to come home second. Jonah Colbert is going to come back for a third-place finish after contact with a lap car sets him back. But how about the drive for Eddie Smith getting himself the win here tonight? You see the little celebratory congratulations between teammates, and Eddie's going to burn it down right here on the front stretch until Brandon Wallace comes plowing in like he normally does. Oh, Tyler Rice missed. And we're getting ready to start the traditional Rebels Demolition Derby after the race. Before we take a look at the final results, we want to see what happened to Garrett Kinder there on that restart. While I look for that, we will take a look at the results. With Eddie Smith getting the win. Mike Kosick back in second. Jonah Colbert in third. Jonathan Cofield back in fourth, and Aaron Adcock rounding out your top 5. 6th is Daniel Cunningham with Andy Kurtz back in 7th. Brandon Pollock in 8th. Pegleg Feltz in 9th, and Garrett Kinder falling back into the 10th position. 11th is Greg Barnett with Chris McLean back in 12th. Mickey Isaac, Tyler Rice, and Jason Lottridge make up your top 15. 16th was Brandon Wallace, 17th. Matt Knights, 18th. Steve McDonald. Matt Kleeman in 19th. William Griffith round out your top 20. 21st, Josh Oswald. Ray Page comes home 22nd. 23rd is Charles Stevens Jr. and Mike Bertosa in the 24th position. I'm just seeing if we can find the incident there. Here's where Kinder's up into the wall. Let's take a rewind here and see if we can see if there was contact or what happened there. You see he's running with the 68 of Greg Barnett, and it looks like a little contact, just slight contact, might even been a little bit of net code, sends Kinder up the track and into the outside wall. But he was able to continue on. Let's talk with our top 3. As Kevin Kinder congratulates the winner Eddie tonight. Let's talk with our 3rd place finisher, Jonah Colbert. Jonah, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Hey, what's going on, Josh?
Man, great run for you tonight. Pretty much dominating the race until you had the contact with the lap car. Talk us through that. What happened there? Was it just a little miscommunication, or did he not know you were out there, or what happened?
I don't know. He wasn't watching his relative, I guess. I can't tell you. I mean, I don't know. You saw it better than I did. I don't know what to do in that situation. I give people respect, I give people room, and they just run you over on the straightaway. So I don't know.
Well, doesn't look like it hurt your car too much. Did you have enough damage where it slowed you down there at the end, or you think you might have had something there at the end?
The car was wobbling. I mean, it was pretty banged up. It was like running on 15, 20 lap old tires. It wouldn't turn after that. It was literally wobbling down the straightaways. So it was pretty much done. I don't know how I didn't fall back any further than 3rd. So that's just luck, I guess. Dirty air or something. I don't know.
That was going to be my next question. If the car was that bad, how are you able to hold on to it? But hey, great job tonight. Coming home P3. I mean, good points night for you. I know it's not the win, but you're already locked into the playoffs. So having that extra bit there kind of helps out. Race with your teammate though, Eddie. You and Eddie were pretty fast there at the end. That caution came out. Did you think he might have run you down there if that stayed green, or do you think you would have been able to hold him off?
The lap cars in front of me, yeah, not because like even if they hadn't wrecked or hit me or whatever, just having two cars in front of you was so much dirty air that the car wouldn't turn, and that was a big deal. But he was saying he didn't think he could pass me because of the dirty air, and maybe he's right. I didn't really have to pass anybody all race. I don't know what it was like being side by side, but I know in Nashville you can't get off that bottom line. If you do, you just go backwards. So I don't know. Maybe he's right. Maybe he wouldn't have been able to pass me. Maybe he would have. Would have been nice to find out. But
For
on to
sure.
next week.
For sure. On to next week. We move on to Kentucky. How you like your chances there?
Terrible.
A man of honest words here, Jonah Cobra. Before I let you go, though, anyone you want to thank? Any shout outs you got to give?
Shout out to Intensity Broadcasting for putting this thing together and broadcasting it each week. We sure appreciate all the work that you do. Shout out to JC Motorsports, the guys out there hanging out with us. Garrett Kinder, Charles Stevens, Daniel Cunningham, Eddie Smith, of course. Shout out to Kostic for another podium. Dude's been fast all season long. It's fun racing him up there, and yeah, that's it.
Well, again, congrats on the podium, and we will talk to you hopefully next week. So, congrats, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, thanks.
That was your third place finisher, Jonah Cobra. Let's bring in your second place finisher, Mike Kosick. Mike, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
We just got done talking to Jonah there, and he said it was incredibly hard to pass in dirty air. I know you were kind of in a lot of that dirty air tonight. How much more did you have to really work on hitting your corners and stuff with the dirty air compared to being out in front?
Yeah, I mean, he definitely had to back up the corners a little bit in traffic, and really just to make a pass, he had to try to get a run off the corner and be able to outbrake him into the next one, but still hold your line. It was definitely challenging.
For sure. And you were quite a bit behind the leaders there. I believe at one point you were like 7 or 8 seconds back behind the leaders. That caution came out. That must have been the exact break you were looking for, and you took advantage of it. Were you kind of surprised that caution though came out as clean as the race had been?
Yeah, I mean, everyone was kind of minding their own there. I was expecting it just to go the rest of the way. Still not quite sure what happened there, but it's unfortunate. But I was able to get a spot out of it, so lucked out a little bit.
For sure, and another podium for you back-to-back weeks here. You've been showing some great speed, so congratulations on that. We look forward to seeing what you can do the rest of the season here. Before we let you go, any shout-outs you got to give? Anyone you want to thank here tonight?
Oh yeah, thank you guys at Intensity for broadcasting the race. It's always good to go back and watch it. Kinder Farm and Ranch, Cofield Asphalt Refinishing, all the admins for all the work they do in the league. My teammates Jonathan Cofield and Stephen McDonald for just helping me out and giving me some pointers and getting me better.
Awesome, man. Oh, you had someone else?
No, that's all.
I thought you had someone else. Well, either way, congrats again, and we look forward to talking to you again real soon.
All right, thanks.
So that was your third place finisher, Mike Kosick. Let's bring in your winner tonight, Eddie Smith. Eddie, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Hey, Josh.
Man, what a wild turn of events there at the end. We know the incident there between Jonah and Ray bringing out that caution, and you were catching Jonah there towards the end. Did you think you might have had anything for him there, or do you think the dirty air was going to affect you that bad?
I don't think I had a way of passing him. I thought about it. I had plenty of time to think about it, and I knew that those lap cars are going to be an issue, as far as us racing it out. So we were just trying to figure out how we're going to navigate that and hopefully get the race out at the end. I don't know. I don't think he was really fast. I don't think, and I told him, I said, I don't know. Once I get to you, I don't know how I would pass you. So that was about the only way I get the win tonight with that happening. And I hate to win it that way. So, I think that was his race, and it kind of got taken from him.
Yeah, for sure. And with that incident, I know you had to take evasive action up to the high side. Did you get a little bit of damage from that as well, or were you able to sneak through there scot-free?
Well, I saw what happened. And I was almost kind of stunned in disbelief about it. And then I I saw the 41 go down on the inside, and I was like, I think he's coming back up. And so I immediately got on I was going to try to just scoot around him, and I saw he was going to come back up. And so I got on the brakes real hard, shifted down to third to try to get it woed up, not hit the wall, and I was able to miss it, but pretty close. Was able to get out without no damage though.
Well, another fine victory for the 87 tonight. Next week we move on to Kentucky. How do you like your chances next week there? I'm sorry, Kansas. Kansas next week.
I'm liking Kansas more and more. So, I like Kansas. I'll be glad to race it. I don't know how good I'll be, but I'll enjoy racing it. I like unless something's changed in the last couple seasons. I think I really enjoyed the last time we raced there. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited for Kansas.
Well, before we let you go here, Eddie, anyone you got to shout out? Any thanks you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, I mean, shout out to the whole field up there that was racing around. I mean, some really, really hard racing, a lot of fun though. Everybody being real respectful, and you know, all my teammates, JC Motorsports, got a whole group of guys that were working together. So definitely want to shout them out, and thank you for broadcasting.
Awesome. And I know Kevin Kinder said congrats to you in the chat as well. So figured I'd give you that little word there. And awesome job. And we look forward to talking to you again soon.
Thanks, Josh. Thanks, Kevin.
Have a great night.
See ya.
There you have it. Your winner, Eddie Smith, here tonight. A tough break for Jonah Coburn, able to salvage a third place finish though. So congrats to him and Kosick. Showing a lot of speed there. Showing a lot of speed the last couple of weeks. It'll be interesting to see what he does as the schedule makes a drastic change after next week. We have another 1.5 mile track at Kansas. Then we move on to Bristol, Talladega, North Wilkesboro, the Red Bull Ring. If you're not familiar with that, that is an F1 track. And then Nashville Fairgrounds, another short track here in the Music City. Then we got the playoff wild card at Motegi Oval, which is a egg-shaped oval track in Japan. So then the playoffs start. So 2 road courses this season. It's going to be awesome to see the mixture of tracks here with these cars. It's turning out to be a great season, and as the season rolls on, we are looking forward to seeing how this plays out. Again, congratulations to Eddie Smith. Don't forget to tune in Sunday night for our truck doubleheader with the Rebels Outlaw and Sunday Night Truck Series here on Intensity Broadcasting. Tuesday night is the A's Construction Truck Series with the SCSRA. Wednesday night is the Dev Sports Car Xfinity Series. And, of course, our Grand National Series every Friday night here on Intensity Broadcasting. Again, thank you for joining us. Don't forget to hit like, follow, and subscribe whether you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube. It really does help us out. I appreciate it. Check out our web store at intensitybroadcasting.com. And as our boy Atlee Atman Weiss would say, over and out.